Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch out. It is created to entertain you and help you in deciding which movie you would like to watch, but watch out. Because most of them can give you real goosebumps. There are 25 movies that I will be introducing here as per when they were released. 14th. Horror generally related to something evil, and here is a movie just named so. Something Evil is a 1972 American made-for-television horror film starring Sandy Dennis, Darren McGavin and Ralph Bellamy. Directed by Steven Spielberg, the screenplay was written by Robert Klaus. A young couple moves into a farmhouse in rural Pennsylvania. What they don't know is that there is an unseen presence in the house, and that it wants to take possession of the wife. 15th. Most horror movies are just creations, but this one is real. The Legend of Boggy Creek is a documentary-style drama plus a horror film about the Fook monster, a Bigfoot-type creature that has been sighted in and around Fook, Arkansas since the 1940s. The film mixes staged interviews with some local residents who claim to have encountered the creature, along with reenactments of encounters. Released in 1972, the film is based upon actual reported encounters with a Bigfoot creature in the Fook Boggy Creek area of Arkansas throughout the 1960s and early 1970s. Most of the actors in the film were the actual people from the encounters. That is perhaps why it is called The Legend of Boggy Creek. Moreover, many versions of the film exist. 16th. Experience terror by watching this Spanish movie, Circo de Terra, translated to Siege of Terror. It is a 1972 horror thriller from Spain. At the Grand Hotel in Miami, Carla falls into the arms of her husband, the eminent Dr. Warren, and confesses to have seen Nick, the man he killed in New York, at the airport. Carla was a nightclub dancer in New York and Nick's lover. Women are believed to be emotionally vulnerable. In this movie, Gloria portrays those women who become mentally unstable due to some mental shock. But Gloria goes way too far. After having experienced trauma brought on by her brother's death, Gloria is released from a mental hospital. She moves back in with her family. However, she is soon troubled by disturbing visions in which she commits a series of axe murders. 17th. So Sad About Gloria, also known as Visions of Evil. It is a 1973 American horror film directed by Harry Thomason and starring Laurie Saunders, Robert Ginhaven, and Dean Jagger. Its plot follows a mentally unstable woman who has visions of herself at the center of brutal axe murders. 18th. Another story based on an evil woman is Devil Woman. Devil Woman is a slithery tale of supernatural revenge, kung fu, and a bit of unrequited love thrown in scented on a woman born with a scalp full of snakes in her head. A woman is born with the power to control snakes. She uses these powers to seek revenge on the villagers who killed her parents along with the help of a local gang. In a side plot, a Chinese kung fu master and doctor gets mixed up line of terror and death. It is a film that seeks to combine two popular genres of the period, the kung fu flick and the black magic horror film. Hong Kong producers were fond of jetting off to exotic, slightly backward locales to film such horror outings, which is why we get films set in Taiwan and Thailand. This one utilizes the Philippines as its setting for a horrific tale of rural revenge. Rosemary Gill is Manda and Cherie Gill as Manda as a young girl. Other important artists are Tung Lee, Yukio Sumino, Romy Diaz, Johanna Garcia and David Yao, Lito Legaspi. The movie was directed by Albert Yu Chick Lim, and Felix Villa in 1973. Its original title was Shi Yao Jing, 19th. The Mutations is a low-budget 1974 British-American science fiction horror film directed by Jack Cardiff. The film was also released under the title The Freakmaker, a scientist experiments with crossing humans and plants, for which he uses his students. The results, of course, are horrifying. 20th. Next movie on my list is Italian, Un succero nel buio, is an Italian mystery horror drama of 1976. The title means, A Whisper in the Dark. The movie has starred John Philip Law, Natalie Dellon and Olga Becerra. It is about a boy who claims to have a new friend named Luca and only he is the only one who can see him. His parents think it's a harmless game until unexplained things begin to happen to the family. 21st. Imagine a car being possessed. What terror could it possibly bring? The Car is a 1977 American horror film directed by Elliot Silverstein and written by Michael Butler, Dennis Shryack and Lane Slate. The film stars James Brolin, Kathleen Lloyd, John Marley and Ronnie Cox, along with real-life sisters Kim and Kyle Richards as Brolin's daughters. A small desert town is terrorized by a powerful, seemingly possessed car, and the local sheriff may be the only one who can stop it. 22nd. Next we have Savage Water. Savage Water is a 1979 American thriller horror film co-produced and directed by Paul W. Kenner and written by Kip Bowden. Will make you enthralled with exciting experiences. It all starts when a group of holiday makers have booked themselves a dream trip with the Wild West Whitewater River Boat Company. Their journey will take them along the Great Colorado in Utah so they can experience firsthand the beauty of the Grand Canyon and the ferocity of the water crashing over the rapids. Once they are well away from civilization, things take a turn for the worse as it's realized that someone on board has their own reason for wanting to be stranded in the canyon without interference from the authorities. Before long, the group begin getting bumped off one by an unseen maniac with a hunting knife and a murderous agenda. As the trip goes on, the vacationers fall prey to a mysterious killer. It seems that the killer wants to turn the mighty Colorado into a river of blood. 23rd. If your interest lies in the metaphysical realm, El Medium is the right movie for you. El Medium was developed due to director Silvio Armadillo's interest in the occult, which he learned through his friend Demofilo Fidani. It was released in the 1980 in Italy. In the movie, a man has psychic premonitions of bad things happening to both a young boy and a young lady in a flaming vehicle. 24th. A film with continued to have its influence till 2012 is Maniac. Maniac is an American psychological slasher film directed by William Lustig and written by C.A. Rosenberg. It stars Joe Spinell as Frank Zito, an Italian-American serial killer residing in New York City who murders and scalps young women. Spinell was also co-writer of the film. The film was remade in 2012, which has sparkled interest in the original version of 1980 25th. Now a movie with many different names, Horrible. No wait, the movie is titled Horrible, it doesn't mean that it is horrible. Horrible, also named Rosso Sang, Anthropophagus 2, Monster Hunter, Absurd, Psychose Infernal or The Grim Reaper 2, is originally an Italian horror film directed by Joe D'Amato under the pseudonym Peter Newton. It was released in 1981. It's sort of a sequel or remake of the movie Anthropophagus. A priest doctor is chasing a man with supernatural regenerative abilities, who has recently escaped from a medical lab. He reaches a small town where the mutant goes on a killing spree. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. There will be more movies coming up in the next video, so stay safe and keep watching. Watch out.